Hello, everyone. This is Raymond Witcher with The Truth May Hurt. I'm editing this in at the beginning of this video because I hadn't really done a video since July the 18th, and I was unfamiliar with some of the things that I had been doing, and I had myself minimized in the video up in the right-hand corner, like so. And the video appears a lot different on my computer screen than it does when it plays back. So after I had loaded it on YouTube and I was watching it, I noticed that a lot of my head area is cut off. But the material is good material, and I don't want to redo it and lose the material. So therefore, I'm just going to edit this in and explain that that is the only part of the video that I don't like, is that my face is not visible. So I'm going to edit this in to explain that. And I was going to had plans to give another presentation video this afternoon, but for some reason, and you'll see this in this video, that my face wasn't swollen like this an hour ago. Okay. My face blew up like this in the last 15 minutes. So I'm going to go to the VA ER and find out, at least get some tests run. I am concerned about this more than anything that I've experienced lately or recently, because I understand everything else that was going on. I don't understand this. And because this area of your body is where the majority or a lot of your lymphatic system is, your lymph nodes, and this, that, and the other. When you see something like this, you don't want to mess around. So I just wanted to come back and say again, excuse me for not giving you the presentation where you can see me clearly, but I don't want to lose the way that the information is being presented in that video. I don't want to risk that to give you a better look at me. Ashe, not Hotep. This is The Truth May Hurt. My name is Raymond Witcher, and again, I am your host. This is the holiday season, and I would like to say happy holidays to everyone, regardless of whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, whether you are just celebrating the bringing in of the new year. Whatever it is that you celebrate during this holiday season, I hope that you are having a wonderful time with your family. And we want to talk a little bit today about the topic of why do they need a Santa Claus? Okay, and this is related to Christianity. Okay, but before I do that, I just wanted to thank everyone who, The Truth May Hurt celebrated its 1-year anniversary on November the 28th. And we have 122 subscribers now, which is great. Okay, thank you guys very, very much. My Facebook page has grown from 200 to 710, 715 followers. Thank you very much. The growth of this channel will be in small steps. It's not going to be an explosion, okay? Because of the topic, because of the taboo topic that we will be discussing, such as today. Why do they need a Santa Claus? Okay, why is Santa Claus so important? Why does he need a reindeer with a red nose? Okay, we're going to talk about these things a little bit. And the only thing I want you to do is think. The only thing that I'm going to present to you is, why do they need to do that to a child? Okay, we're not talking about what adults choose to do. We're going to keep this on the early development ages of a child's mind, the psychology and the psychology that is used to manipulate a child's mind. Okay, we want to keep it in that context, because when you're talking about Christmas, you're talking about the religion of Christianity. We're talking about a belief system, but we're also talking about what the religion of Christianity has produced as Santa Claus, who knows when you're sleeping, who knows when you're awake, who knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Think about it. That's God's role. To humans, God knows these things, but to a child, you have to put it on a level of Santa Claus. He knows, okay? He knows. Okay, so we're talking about those things, but before I get into that, I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank everyone for your feedback, the negative and the positive, especially the positive. I'm expecting the negative. I appreciate the positive. I do my best, and I'm a one-person show. So just a brief recall, I started this channel once I awakened, okay, to the fact that I had been lied to all of my life from a child, okay, Santa Claus, that I needed to do something to leave a signature for my children, my daughter, my son, my grandchildren to come, my great-grandchildren, my great-great, every descendant that comes after me. I'm taking the personal responsibility to leave a signature, to show you, to teach you, to give you the truth, okay? I've never lied to my children once. I've never. And some of the biggest conflicts and disagreements has all been around Christmas and Santa Claus, because I'm not gonna lie to my child, okay? So from November to July, I put out over 70 videos. I put together over 70 videos. I really got into it because I'm not going to say I'm compulsive, but I don't tire easily, and I don't get involved in things that I'm not highly motivated to be involved in. So from the end of November until I think the second week in July, I put out like 70 videos. I'm not sure how many months that is. I think it's 6 or 7 months. So I kind of burnt out, okay? At the same time, my spring activities started, gardening, organic gardening and these kind of things. And, you know, by July, I was just burnt out, and I developed some health issues. I have chronic health issues. Excuse me, I had shoulder pain, back pain. Mobility was a problem, okay? And I did some things. I'm going to share these with you in another video. A matter of fact, a friend today was mentioning that she was having shoulder pain and these kind of things. So I sent her some information on how to make organic pain remedies. One is using an avocado seed, and you soak it in grain alcohol and these kind of things, and you extract it and you rub it. Takes the pain away. Okay. So from July to August, man, I was in so much pain I barely could move. I mean, I was in chronic pain. I could barely walk. So I had to really shut everything down, is what I'm saying. And I started using this avocado seed oil, and my pain went away. I had plantar fasciitis in both feet. I barely could walk. Okay. So all my pain went away. So these are some of the other things that I will be sharing on The Truth May Hurt. And I'm going to do a video on that because, listen, we were made complete. Okay. We were not made deficient, insufficient, incapable, handicapped, all of these things. Okay, we were put into these positions because of a system that wants to dominate us and put us in a position that everything we need to depend on them to get. And that's called helpless. And when you're in a helpless situation, you will find yourself hopeless. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to talk about. I want to mention this because I'm noticing that the lighting, because I haven't done a video since July, so what's that, 6 months or so? So the lighting isn't the way I would like it to be. So, but I'm going to go with this video today because it is Christmas Day. For those that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, okay? And for those that are waiting on the New Year, maybe I'll have a video out before then to wish you a Happy New Year. But we're going to get into this. We're going to look at a couple of things and discuss these things. I don't have a presentation because it's just open. This is just an open conversation. But what I would like to ask you is, why do they need a Santa Claus? Why is it so important that from the birth of a child, the creation of false realities is so important? Okay? So when we're talking about the myth of Santa Claus, well, I'm going to say it's a myth, but they're not presenting this to a child as a myth. They're presenting this to a child as a motivator to do good, and a motivator to just be good so that you can get this reward, okay? It's the same reward that adults are offered in Christianity when they say, well, if you do the right thing, you get to go to heaven. So I'm giving you the parallels here, but we have to look at it from the production of producing a reality of what is really a psychosis, because it's not a reality. A psychosis is when you are put in a situation where you no longer know what reality is. That's what a psychosis is. So this child is motivated to be good and do these things so the Santa Claus can come, okay? The image of Santa Claus is like the image of Jesus Christ. It's a white man that's going to do all of these great things for you. Man, do you know how big of a problem it is to even have a picture of a black Santa Claus, or how offensive it is to a lot or many, all, I'm going to say many, but all racists, all bigots, to say that we have a black Santa Claus? Oh, no. Santa's white. Jesus is white. God is white. Okay? So to start presenting these things at a child's mind, and your child is black, you're inducing an inferiority complex within this child's mind. Right off of the bat, this child is not identifying in as a white child would with Santa Claus. No more than a black person can identify in with the white image of Jesus Christ. They don't go together. Now, you can rationalize this. I mean, I know you're going to do it. You're going to say, well, it doesn't matter. Well, if it didn't matter, why did they do it? If it didn't matter, why did they do it? Okay? It matters to them, but it doesn't matter to you. It should matter to you as much as it matters to them. Okay? Don't rationalize it. Accept it for what it is. It is a very constructed way of conditioning your child's mind that he's less than, and the image of whiteness is greater than, right off of the bat. Okay? Now, this is a process. This isn't, this is a real process that they go through to do this. Okay? So when this child is coming up now, the child is I had to pause for a second. My daughter just came in. She didn't know I was recording and greeted me, so I broke away for a second. So when this child is developing outside of reality. But you got to remember, the parent is teaching the child. They grew up outside of the reality. So this is a continuation from the development of a child all the way through the process of adulthood. It never stops. So you got to tie them together. Okay? So what great efforts do parents, churches, grandmas, grandpas, what great efforts do they, because I've never did it, I've never done it to my children, go to trick this child? Now think about it. Around what age do children stop believing in Santa Claus? It depends on which environment they come up in. But those that come up in a protective environment, that are in a structured Christian household, that are following this tradition of Santa, a big fat white man with a white beard that goes all around the world on a sleigh, driven by Rudolph with a red nose. All of these things are being just driven, okay? But the parents and the adults are the real sick ones, because you never really grew out of Santa Claus. You never let Santa Claus go, and then you took that energy into your belief in Jesus, and you're not going to want to let that go either. You never had to let Santa Claus go. Okay, so here's this man that you've tricked your child to believe, that comes and slides down the chimney of your home. Now, so that everybody knows, because everybody doesn't have a chimney. You see this big, wide thing sticking up out of your roof, and it's big. And then when you build a fire, you see the smoke coming up through this chimney. But there's only a 12-inch hole coming up this chimney. It's called a flue that pulls the smoke out. So Santa Claus is not sliding down the length and width of your chimney. Santa Claus would have to slide down a 12-inch hole. Just showing you the measures of deceit that they have tricked us into using against our own children. Why do they need a Santa Claus? To start your child in a belief system that all you need to do is believe. Doesn't matter. I mean, listen, guys, I'll be honest. When I was coming up in those ages, and my father never participated in these kind of things, but my mother was big into it. I love my mother. She did the best she could. I'm not chastising her at all. But if she thought she was really fooling anybody, she wasn't, because the parents will take the gift and they'll wrap it up in a box and put somebody's name on it, and they'll set it over here. Man, I would take those gifts loose, take the toys out, play with them, wrap them back up in the box before Christmas, and then, by the time I played with it, Christmas Day, the batteries are dead. You're not tricking most children, is what I'm telling you. You're losing the confidence in your child that you won't look at them right in their face and lie. Is it worth that? So why do they need a Santa Claus? It's to break the relationship and the trust in between the mother and the parent, so that the child depends more on what they wrote on a book to confuse them more about what reality is. It is a system of a wicked way to put you in something that you will never get out of until they put you in a hole in the ground, and then it's too late. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to beat you up. The name of this channel is The Truth May Hurt. Buckle up. Okay? Buckle up. I'm really impressed with one of the things about the growth of The Truth May Hurt. When I started the channel, my target group were young people. Young. Because if I can catch the child's mind before it's indoctrinated with the BS, the future is unlimited. Okay? So I was expecting more participation from the youth, but actually the analytics for The Truth May Hurt, the majority of the 122 subscribers are 65 years and older. Great. You're the ones that I wanted, but I didn't think I could attract you, because you've gotten to the point. See, it's harder for people that have been in something all of their lives, and they get into their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s to say, wait, I was wrong. than for a young person. So to be attracting the senior citizens as I am, what I'm asking you to do now is go to work. Sit down with your grandchildren and your children and your daughters and say, look, I taught you wrong. There never was a Santa Claus. Stop teaching your children about a Santa Claus. All of these things are setting your children and your family backwards. Listen, if you want to celebrate, celebrate. If you want to make this the season of giving, give. But don't feel that if you don't have money to give, then now you have failed. Failed who? Profits of the companies that you would have been spending your money with. You haven't failed God. You haven't failed your family. It's been Christmas 365 days out of a year. Christmas comes every day. Under the spirit of giving. Okay? So if you want to give, give. But don't tie in a fictional character that removes you out of the equation. As hard as you worked. Now you think about it. A lot of parents and people that don't have feel so guilty around this time of the year that they can't give their children that they know have been good boys. How does it go? He knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. They know that their children have been the best children. They also know there is no Santa Claus that's going to come and slide down their chimney and bring their children the gifts that their children psychologically believe they deserve to have. What does that do to that child's mind when they see all of the other kids that they know been bad as hell all year long, riding around on a new bicycle, new clothes, they didn't get anything. You're damaging your child's mind. Okay? You're setting your child up to believe that I don't care how good I am or what I do, I'm going to fail. You really want to do that to your child? Listen, explain to your children the truth. There is no Santa Claus, and your father or your mother and your father and your grandparents, we worked very hard to give you these things so that your child can appreciate hard work. And that sometimes hard work doesn't even pay off. Your child needs to understand these things, that nobody's going to gift you outside of the people in your family that love you. Nobody's just going to give you things. You're going to work hard and you're going to earn it and you're going to deserve it. Okay, so when I look at the extremes that people will go to keep this mythical lie alive, it's depressing. And when you try to talk to them about it, it's offensive to them. So, I'm just trying to give you the reality. Practice Christmas, enjoy your Christmas, but don't lie to your children. Okay? And if you're really smart, you will explain to your children, well, we're not going to exchange gifts on Christmas Day because everything goes on sale half price the day after Christmas. You can get twice as much. Teach them how to be smart. Okay? So, why do they need Santa Claus? One, to indoctrinate and program your child's mind from birth into a belief system. Two, to give your child a false image of whiteness being great. Santa Claus white, Jesus Christ white, none of them look like us. All the angels are white. Matter of fact, it's funny. It's not funny. Some people are not going to laugh. But hey, this is an adult channel. Okay. I was watching television and my wife and I, we were watching something. Christmas, you can expect certain commercials. The ones about pets, your commercials about donating. Now, I'm not bashing, but I don't see any commercials during Christmas about the Sudan or anywhere in Africa that the people are starving. Okay, I don't see that. But this commercial came on about heaven, okay? And it was in a church. And man, it blew me away because every angel was white, every saint was white, every child was white. All of them had white wings, white robes. I mean, it was all white. So me being me, I asked my wife, I said, excuse me, but has anybody ever shown you the color section of heaven? Has anybody ever shown you where black people are in heaven? Because if this is it, y'all not gonna make it. And she just shook her head at me, and I'm like, you shaking your head at me? I'm in heaven. You waiting to die to go. Okay, well, do you see it? Do you see any black people in this heaven that they are portraying to you that this is what you're working so hard all your life so where you can go? To be with who? They're just gonna let you in. They're not gonna let no more black people in. They're just gonna let you in. Enjoy Christmas, okay? But I don't play these games. Imagery is very important into the psychology of the psychosis that they put you in, that you have escaped all reality. All of your life, you're walking around on a daydream about how good things gonna be after you die. Listen, I hear black people say all the time about Martin Luther King, we need to keep the dream alive. No, you don't. You need to wake up from the dream so that you can make the dream come true. You can't do anything in a dream. What can you do in a dream but rest and sleep? Okay? You got to keep it in the context that you have to wake up from the dream to have the dream, or you have to wake up from the nightmare to get out of the nightmare. You just can't keep dreaming the same thing, saying, well, wondering why hasn't it happened? Because you wouldn't wake up. You were getting too much rest. You did not want to do the work. This is work, okay? And the good part about it and the best part about it is it's easy. It's a consciousness. Christ, Jesus, what you're taught is a consciousness. When you are asleep, are you conscious or are you unconscious? You're unconscious. Okay? So when I'm showing people things and I'm telling you things, it is to wake you up into a consciousness, not an unconsciousness. You've been unconscious long enough. Yeah, some of the things that you're gonna see when you wake up, you're not gonna like. Because you're gonna find out it was never real. But some people would rather lay down and go back to sleep to try to make it real because it was so good in the dream. Oh man, I was enjoying myself. Have you ever been asleep, dreaming? And right when something good is getting ready to happen or somebody wakes you up, you be like, oh man, why you wake up? And you because it's so powerful, you really lay back down and close your eyes and try to go back to sleep. And a couple of minutes later, you're like, man, I'm wasting my time because the dream is over. Dreams aren't meant to last forever. Dreams are meant to be temporal for a certain period of time. Get you to a certain place so that now either the dream is a reality or it's not. If the only place that you are happy is in your dream, and When you wake up and have to face reality, you're miserable. What does it tell you? Okay, you're investing your time in the wrong thing. So, why do they need a Santa Claus? The same reason they need a Jesus. To give you something to believe in, that you have faith in. Now remember, faith is accepting things that you have never been shown any evidence. Look up the definition of faith. Look at the word believe. Let me show you this. Hold on. Okay. So when we're talking about faith, faith is faith is a belief system that you're accepting things that you have never been given any evidence of. Okay, you just believe it because it's been passed on to you. It's been given to you by people that you trust. Okay, but what is a belief? Let's do this. Hold on one second. Okay, so when we're talking about what we believe, it is a belief, and faith is accepting things without evidence that we believe. Okay, but what is believe? When you break that word down, it is lie. You're being lied to. Okay, you got VE at the end. If you can it might be a good idea. I didn't do it, but I will do it. Is to look up what is there any significance to the VE ending of a word? It may give you a definition, but as you can see, the word belief has lie in it. Oh man, I don't believe that. Well, you know what? It's impossible to believe something and know it at the same time. So when people stand around and they boastfully, and I did it. I'm not bashing people. I'm not trying to belittle people. This is not a channel of trying to reduce you, that you are less than me because you don't know what I know. No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that when I realized these things that I'm showing you, I couldn't accept that, man. I had a friend, one of my closest friends that I grew up with, that I'm still in contact with, that he is still a sound, strong believer, and we don't have a problem with each other. I accept him, and he accepts me. We discuss Bible, and we bump heads and whatever, and that's it. But he mentioned to me, he said, "You know what your problem is, Dr. Witcher?" I said, "What?" He said, "Your problem is you don't want to believe anymore." I said, "Brother, that's not my problem." He said, "Well, what is your problem?" I said, "My problem is I know that my Creator never made me to believe." Somebody convinced me of that. Somebody convinced me that somebody was convinced by a man named Paul, who the Bible doesn't even give a last name, that all you need to do is believe. Bullshit. You can't believe something and know it at the same time. And when you surrender that all I need to do is believe, you have disqualified yourself and said, "I don't even want to know." If you even show me something or tell me something that goes against what I believe, I'm going to reject it. Because I don't need to know. Paul said, all I need to do is believe. Wow. I'm the one that's sick. I'm the one that the Bible says, well, they've fallen away. No. That's just a clever way of them saying, don't wake up. That's just a clever way of them saying, well, Ray woke up. Instead of saying Ray woke up, they say, well, Ray, he's fallen away. Man, Ray woke the hell up. And he's trying to wake up everybody that he can. Man, life is beautiful. We've just been limited in the life that we live by the things we believe. We're the only things God created walking around here in a belief system, where every other creature creature, a creation that God made, they know they're still doing the same things today that they did the day that God created them, except because we have become dependent on the governments that man has created to benefit them, victimize us, and just accepted it. It says that this is what God created me to be. Bullshit. It's not. I hate to disappoint you, but you weren't born for that. You've accepted it because you've been convinced that, hey, well, it was good enough for my mom and my daddy. It was good enough for me too. Well, it wasn't good enough for your mother, your father, your grandparents either. They were just in a situation that is less than yours to do anything about it. We are in a position today that we can put a stop to it right now, and we choose not to. This is a choice. Okay? I don't care how long all of your life, I'm in Maryland. Okay? I don't care how long all of your life your parents and your grandparents told you that to go to New York, you go out here and get on 95 and you go 95 south. And you just keep going, don't stop. You just keep going, and if you go out here and leave Maryland or Virginia and you get on Highway 95 and you go south, it'll take you straight into New York. And you believe that all of your life. And one day you finally get a car and you say, man, I've always heard about New York and I'm going to New York. And you pack your family up and you get in the car, and on your way to get on 95, you see me standing out here on the side of the road saying, whoa, ho, 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 ho. This way, New York is 95 north. And you blow your horn at me and say, man, if you don't get out of my way, I'll run over top of you, because my mom and my daddy and my grandparents and everybody have always told me that if I want to go to New York, I have to go 95 south, and I'm going 95 south, and I don't care what you say. Let them go. So call me when you get back from New York. You'll never hear from them again. Because you can't go to 95 south and go to New York from Maryland and Virginia. I don't care who told you. I don't care if they were standing on a pulpit putting their hand on the Bible. They don't know what they're talking about. You can't make New York be south of Maryland and Virginia. I don't care if you draw your own map. You can't do it. So we have to get out of these things that we've been indoctrinated into to believe, to the point that we will reject. And if you read the Bible right, it tells you that you will be able, God says, I will send strong delusions so that you will choose to believe the lie and reject the truth. God says, I'm the one that does all these things. Your Bible tells you things. You say, I believe, I'm a Christian, I believe in the Bible. No, you don't. You believe in Paul. You do not believe in everything in the Bible, because when I show you things in the Bible, then I say, well, why don't you do this? I ain't doing that. Well, then you don't believe. You pick and you choose. You cherry pick. You don't like all of the vegetables. You like the tomatoes and the cucumbers, but you don't like the string beans and the spinach. Okay? You're picking and choosing. And you're going to be spat out according to your own Bible, what you say you believe in. Don't worry about it. It's not true. It didn't happen. It's not real. Now, I'm going to give you this. Everything that you have been taught in church is not worth, I'm not telling you it's worthless. I'm just telling you that you've never been told how to use it. You've never been told how to be what the Bible is trying to train you to be. Jesus said, you'll do work far greater than mine. This little work I did down here is nothing compared to what you're capable of doing. Of course, the work that he did down here is nothing compared to the work that you're capable of doing, because he was never down here. You're here to do all of that work. That is your assignment. Nobody has just never come up to you and said, go to work, because they've been told you, they have always told you to wait on the Lord. Listen, words like Lord, God, these words just became used, what, 2,000, 2,500 years ago, when the Greek came. So you're telling me that there was no God before there was a Greek word God? Let me show you something. Hold on. Okay, so when you're talking about the Greek language, you're only talking about a language that existed for 3,400 years. Okay? And in other words, what I'm telling you is, if you look at what we have been presented to believe, then there was no God 3,400 years ago. Well, I've just shown you that. There was no God 3,400 years ago. Because there was no word Greek. Lord, all of these words and titles that we use didn't exist 4,000 years ago. So what do we call who we know or who we reference to as God before 4,000 years ago? What did we say before we were saying Lord? These kind of things 4,000 years ago. Okay? They want you to believe that nothing existed before we gave it to you, before we civilized you. You were horrible, horrible people before we came along and put handcuffs and slaves, chains on you. You guys didn't know how to act. You were sinful. Yeah, right. Okay. So I'm just showing you, you don't know how these words meaning interact, because there are several root words in the word believe. You got be, lie. They go together. So it's telling you that when you start putting yourself in a position that somebody's telling you something and you're just going to qualify it because, oh, well, I know they wouldn't lie to me. Well, what about if the person lied to them? They just passed on the lie that they were given. You got to get out of this. When somebody says, man, I believe, you might want to say, man, I got to go. I got some things I need to take care of, because these are people that are dangerous that you really don't want to be around. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because they have all of their confidence in something that they have no evidence. Quality assurance would never, ever allow me to accept anything based on what I believe, because I have worked with these engineers for the last 20 years, and because we work together now, I'm going to trust you. I don't trust you. I don't. I'm not paid to trust you. I'm not paid. I'm not in a system that I should be trusting a pastor. Why should I trust a pastor? Why? Listen, pastors will stand up in church and say, God told me to tell you. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. God didn't tell you to tell me jack. Because God and I don't have that kind of relationship. You don't think I know God, but I do. And God wouldn't go behind my back to come to you to tell me anything. Why didn't God just tell God to come back and tell me what he told you? What makes you so special? There is nothing special. There's nothing more special about a pastor than it is about you. They just want you to believe that. That's what makes believing so dangerous, okay? So we just wanted to I wanted to come back today, and my first video, I wanted to make it before the first of the year. And I wanted to do it right at Christmas, because Christmas is the biggest thing to many people out of the entire year, that they don't have anything else to look forward to outside of Christmas. They're so poor. Now that you have Donald Trump in the office, that has really wrecked a lot of these people's lives, a lot of these racist people's lives. And I actually heard a man that is from South Carolina, somewhere down south. He's on public assistance and SNAP and all of these things. And he said, I didn't think that Donald Trump was going to do this to me. I just thought he was going to do it to black people. Oh, okay, he didn't. Now how do you feel? And he said, well, at least I'm still hurting the people that I hate. I was like, okay, so I'm just showing you how deep this hatred, this internal, it's not self-manifested, because these parents are teaching their children to hate us. They're teaching their children to do bad things to us. Excuse me, so it's not self-generated. It is kind of self-perpetuated because it's a belief system. These are the things that makes believing so dangerous. They believe we ain't jack and that we're worthless. And do you know that most of it comes from the Bible? Okay, so wanted to come and give you why it is important, because a lot of people are going to stand up on rationalizing why their child needs Santa Claus. Listen, your child needs you. Your child needs the mother and the father. Your child needs the confidence that when I go to my mom and my dad, I can trust them to tell me the truth. And anybody and anything that's convincing anything different than that, they don't mean you or your child or your family any good whatsoever. So don't let Christmas and Santa Claus mean more to you than the development of your child. Okay? Don't. It is a mistake. All right? You're going to regret it. Right now, today, my daughter, my son, we had the best friend. Now, they still have a great relationship with their mom and everybody else too. But when it comes to me, when they really have something they need to deal with, they come to me. Because they know I'm not going to shoot them no jack. Okay? So parents will lie to their child up until they just are forced. The child is like, Santa Claus ain't real. Okay. He's never been real. But now you've lied to your child for 10 years, 8 years. And your child now has developed some skills for lying. And you catch him on a lie. And man, you are so mad. And now you punish your child. Now you want to whip your child. Now you want to take away privileges from your child for lying. And have the nerve to look at your child and say, who taught you to lie? Nobody in this house ever taught you to lie. Have you lost your mind? How can you say that to your child? How can you defend yourself? And how can you punish your child when you haven't been punishing for the lies you told for 10 years? You just supposed to get away? It was okay because you lied for who? Jesus? Who did you lie for? Just tell me, who did you lie for? People will say, well, it was, my mother and my sister would tell me, because man, I would shut them down. Don't bring these lies in my house. Now, I would deal with everybody in here that's going to be mad at me because I'm putting the end to this. See, being hurt by the truth isn't terminal. It's not a terminal condition, brothers and sisters, that, oh, I told you the truth and you just dropped dead because of the shock. Oh, you'll survive. Okay? So all of these things that people conjure up and make it, well, I do this, well, I was told, well, we just want her to be well-rounded. We want Surey and Rashawn to be well-rounded. You're not going to, Well-rounded how? Teaching them how to lie. How does that make my child or my children well-rounded? You teaching them how to lie. And keep a straight face. I mean, Santa Claus brought this to you. You know, think about what parents do. They sit up all night long, y'all. Like crackheads. They sleep. Check them, see if they sleep yet. And then they tip around the house like burglars, unwrapping stuff. You know, peeping. Check them. They not sleep. They sleep. They don't sleep yet. All to trick your children. You know, leaving cookies and milk on the table for Santa Claus because he's tired. He has to go to every house on earth, y'all. Tricking your children. How is this making my child well-rounded? Get the tree out. Get Santa out. Get Jesus out. Mark, Luke, Paul. Get them all out of here. All of them. And I like the tree. They got trees all up and down the street. Well, look at them. But you're not going to convince me that it's in the best interest of my child to lie to my child. And I will never have to stand in my child's face and say, I am sorry. I lied to you. See, listen. Nobody can accidentally lie. Did you know that? You have to choose. It's a choice. It is an actual cognitive choice. You had to make a decision to lie. You didn't slip up and do it. Oops. Oh man. I mean, I can say that sometimes we may say something that's not true, but if it was actually true to us when we said it, then we really didn't lie. We just didn't know the truth. But now you do know the truth. You do know the truth. This video, you do know the truth. There was never Santa Claus. You have no business teaching your child that there is a Santa Claus. It is damaging the development of your child's mind. The whole experience that we're supposed to be going through in the development from a child to an adult and through a religion is being brought to the consciousness of reality. To the consciousness that I am my Savior. I am others' saviors. Because when you wake somebody up, if you saw someone's house on fire and you stopped your car and you went up and you kicked the door in and you woke up everybody and got them out of the house, were you their savior? You woke them up. You saved them. It is the whole concept of waiting on Christ. The reality of it is that when you realize that these are mythical teachers that are supposed to prepare me to do this work, now you have the Christ consciousness. I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to go. When you talk about the Ark of the Covenant sitting on the right-hand side of Jesus in heaven, this is heaven. Inside your brain, when your consciousness awakens. The Ark of the Covenant. Let me say it like this. They spell it A-R-K of the covenant, but it's really A-R-C of the covenant, because the ark is the electrical impulses of your brain that are firing. That's the ark the ARC of the covenant of the brain, and the right hemisphere of the brain is on the right-hand side of the Father who sits on the throne. And it's about overcoming. You have an optimistic and a pessimistic side. So your left hemisphere of your brain kind of keeps you trapped in that uncertainty realm of, I don't know. Maybe. It could be, but it keeps you in that infinity of not knowing. When you graduate and you know, it takes you over to the right hemisphere of the brain, and you start believing. So we're going to end this. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I think everyone that is participating on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Please follow me on Facebook. Please make a commitment for 2026 that I will spend 10 hours, 15 hours every week in a family setting with as many members of my family as possible. And you can do this today through Zoom or group chat. And we're going to grow together. See, because if you're here in the Truth May Hurt channel and platform, and you're growing, but your wife isn't, and your children aren't, and your parents aren't, now you're separating yourself from your family because you're at a higher level of consciousness than they are. And to them, the things that they have always believed are still real. Okay? So if you make a commitment that I'll spend 5 hours or 10 hours every week with my children doing things like this, maybe sit down and watch a video. If you sit down and watch 3 videos a week with your family and have a discussion after that, you'll grow. You will grow, because this door is going to open many more doors. Because I don't promote myself. I promote awareness. I promote the feel of becoming informed and having knowledge and wisdom, which is going to open you up to Professor Kaba Kameni, Kabakamene. I'm going to give you some names now, then we're going to go. Professor Anthony Broder, Browder. Azra, Ashra Kwesi, Kwesi. Look these guys up and just join their pages. Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yosef Benyakman, his YOSEF BENYHK. I can't remember how to spell his last name. But there's so many black qualified. You know, I'll show people stuff and they say, "Hey, wait, all of the people that you're showing me, all of them are black people." Why? Listen, man, I've been studying a white man's curriculum all of my life. Now you want to challenge me because I have presented the most intelligent black authoritarians in this field, and now you want to pick them apart because they're black. Well, here's some white guys saying the same thing, if that makes you feel better. Okay? The truth will be the truth. I don't care who tells it. Okay? So let's get over these things and let's move on. All right? I'm going to say, Ashe. Stay blessed up. Have a great day.